Still trying to figure out this Periscope thing, but I'm gonna tap on this because it says that. Hi, how are ya?
Good, how are you?
I'm great. This is Casey, and we are at day 2 of my doing the Tell Your Story series at Strange Loop and with Project Alloy. So, will you please introduce yourself?
Sure. My name is Casey Macaulay. I live in Denver, Colorado, and currently I work for Girls Who Code.
Oh, okay. So we're going to get into that, but why are you here?
I am here to learn, mainly, and to grow as a software developer and to meet people. This conference so far has been a really great just sharing of ideas, and it's been really fun to talk to people about the different sessions that have gone on.
So tell me, you are a grantee of a Project Alloy.
Yes.
What was that like? What does receiving a grant from this project do for your ability to be here or your space in tech?
Yep. Well, it completely allowed me to be here. I wouldn't be here without Project Alloy, so I'm really grateful for this opportunity. And I think that their mission is really important, and it's one of the main reasons that I myself joined the tech industry, so that when I'm a senior developer, fingers crossed, 5-10 years down the road, I am doing similar work, working with young girls or other represented people in the tech community. And so it was just really great to even have the possibility of applying for a scholarship, because a lot of conferences still aren't offering them, and then receiving it was just extremely validating, and it helps me feel like I'm a part of this community.
I'm going to stop right there because that's a great word, validating.
Mm-hmm.
And you spoke about a lot of conferences don't offer this. Project Alloy, and I need to get the exact numbers, but they've sponsored over 120 people in some capacity to attend Strange Loop.
Yep.
And so when I hear that other conferences can't do it, I'm thinking, well, why don't you reach out to the conferences who are doing it? You don't have to do it, but over 120 people
is really impressive.
That's really impressive.
Definitely.
And validation, that is such a powerful, I don't know if people understand what that word means to people from underrepresented and marginalized communities.
I agree.
I think it's a throwaway word for a lot of people. But when you feel validated in a space that there are not many people who look like you, have your same belief, just period, and it's not asking for their approval. But what it does is saying, it gives a stamp that, yes, I belong.
Yes, you're welcome.
So tell me about that. So tell me about what validation means to you.
Sure. I've been thinking about it a lot recently, just because there have been a lot of articles in the New York Times, mainly about kind of how things are going in Silicon Valley, and how there is a growing number of men who feel like women are taking their jobs. And feel like women don't belong in technical positions. And reading something like that as a woman of color gives me anxiety about entering into this new space. Especially since I'm coming from a nonprofit world and political campaigns where staff is generally very diverse. I've almost exclusively had female bosses, and I know that is not what my new career is going to look like.
Okay, so I'm going to get a little closer to you, because we're in a hotel and they're doing something really loud, and I want to make sure people hear you.
Sure.
So you said something, I'm trying to think about what you just made a really good point. About the articles, about the New York Times, about us not being there. It's so funny to me because somebody decides to start a tech business or something, product or service, every freaking day. Every freaking day. Whether it's successful or not is another issue. So to say that we're taking jobs is saying a lot. You're really reaching.
Yes.
And what I like to say is, I believe I'd rather be happy than right.
Yes.
Most times. And so I try to err on the side of people just don't know. They're just not aware. And most people are just genuinely good people. They just aren't aware of certain things. But when and I'm going to put a period on it because I'm not going to say but, because that negates what came before it. When you say things like that, what it does is demonstrate to me that you're a person who has been given privilege and who has not done really anything to earn that privilege except for being born of a certain race or a certain gender. And it frightens the hell out of you that you have to share privilege. No one's saying white men are bad or they need to leave tech. It's just that you're no longer the only expert in the room. So make room, because when you bring us in, we make your lives better.
Definitely.
So when I choose, I see those as I'm curating my stuff for my, for my social media that I'm going to share with people who follow me. I intentionally pass by those things, because to read those articles would be one of those things where, Kim, do you want to be right or do you want to be happy? Because it is like so nonsensical to me. It's like, dude, most of you got your jobs. What you're afraid of, though, is because we're working. And most of you got your jobs. I'm not going to say most. Let me take that back. Some of you got your jobs because of who you know. But are you that great at your job? Can someone else do your job better? And that's one of the things that a lot of these comeback articles are. It's the mediocre person who are in, and that's in any industry. If you're doing a mediocre job, when somebody more skilled comes along, it frightens you. And at this point, it's just saying, hey, it's okay.
Definitely.
We need each other, so it's not like women are taking over. You cannot create products and service for a global market from one perspective. So tell me about what you do specifically at your
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, I am just about to start.
It's so funny. Everybody's just starting a job, and I'm loving it. I am so loving how everybody's just about to start a job.
Are you familiar with Girls Who Code?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So it's programs for middle and high school students around the country. I think they're in 50 states now. And the way that the program runs is you don't need to have technical abilities to start a club. You just need to be an adult supervisor. And so what they found is there is a little bit of a gap when the girls are really progressing and moving forward. When they encounter a problem or a bug, the person leading the group hasn't necessarily been able to be that resource. And so that's where I'm going to come in as a virtual teaching assistant.
Oh my God, that's so great, because one of the things, because my background is in education, and one of the things I've been saying, the reason we're having problems with STEM education or STEAM education is because the people who are actually doing it have no backgrounds. They've gotten, I'm from Georgia, they've gotten a certification from the state that says they can teach these classes, but most of them have never worked in the industry. They're educators who've taken on these additional things.
It's really interesting that you say that, because that's the exact reason I came into tech. I also have an education background and was working for a statewide organization based in Colorado, and worked on a project looking at the national and the state statistics of computer science K-12 education, and the statistics were really astounding. Like, still today, there are only 8 states with any type of digital literacy standards, which is, I think, a huge disservice to our kids.
They all need to have a computational thinking background.
Absolutely.
Tech touches everything.
Exactly. And especially more so when they're going to be our age.
Exactly.
Right? And so I think it's an opportunity for us to modernize our education system. It is essential to making sure we still have a diverse economy moving forward. But I also recognize, like, while I could probably go ahead and get a job right now as a computer science instructor, I don't have that industry experience. I don't know what the soft skills are that you have to teach. I don't know about what project management tools I should be using. And so I want to first gain some of that industry experience and some of those additional pieces other than just the technical pieces.
Yes.
And then maybe someday I'll go into curriculum development, or maybe I'll be in the classroom. But I do feel like I need those skills first. And I'm
so happy you say that, because this is one of my issues with a lot of the boot camps that are out there. They throw out learning theory. They throw out how do you deal with the student who's falling behind? How do you deal with the student who's accelerating? How do you deal with all those things that we as educators deal with in the classroom? How do you transfer that into technical education?
And I will say I am myself a boot camp grad, but I think that the one that I went to, Turing in Denver, does things a little bit differently, and they really do try to personalize that education and kind of meet you where you are.
Good. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly, and that's with any education. You have to meet the student where they are. Yeah.
And at least in Colorado, things are moving that way in terms of competency-based learning. But I think that tech is a huge opportunity to fill that gap.
Yes. So in our final moments, what would you like to say about the work you're doing, Project Ally, Strange Loop, diversity, whatever it is? This is your floor.
Sure. Oh my gosh. There's so much. I guess I am really excited to be here because I think that the energy specifically at Strange Loop around diversity inclusion has been really authentic.
That's a good word.
And so it excites me. It takes away some of that anxiety that I talked about earlier about entering into this new space because I know that they're allies.
Authentic is a great word. Validation and authentic are great words. You have nailed it. So thank you, Casey, so much for being a part of the podcast.
Yeah, it was great speaking with you.
Yes, and have a wonderful experience.
You too.
Okay, bye-bye.